Hello everyone, this is Siege992 and today we're back for another brand new video. And today's video comes to us over a week since the last time me and Lee got to sit here and discuss and break down all things Rangers as we bled in to the international break. Most will argue we needed that international break because what we were seeing was causing the eyes to all bleed. Well now, ladies and gentlemen, we're here still technically in the international break, but there is an upload to be had and a talking point that needs to be broken down. And usually regarding this channel, especially when we do upload during the international break, it means something important happened, and usually, especially recently, it's equally as annoying. And as I think the longer you watch today's video, the more both of those become quite clear, as we have a sort of important, if not frustrating, Rangers Roundup. And this Rangers Roundup will be a little bit shorter than normal. That usually has like 3 or 4 topics that we break down and discuss, and it's usually 3 or 4 minutes each topic, etc, etc. This Rangers Roundup has one main talking point, which I think is going to cover a lot of discussion points within the club, and then another wee story that's sort of fluttering around there that shouldn't take us too long. But again, the first story and where we're going to start today's video is the true meat and tatties of the old video. And I'm very interested to see what you're saying, as we're here to talk about Nils Koppen, or as what we call him lovingly right here on the channel, Big Cop. And before we do go ahead and break into the story and discuss more a Cop, and I would like to say before we go anywhere, nothing is personal here as well, because I think all of us as Rangers fans were excited when he was announced, because he was here to fix another mess that was obviously done there, and he's got a great track record regarding scouting players, because he's a scout, ladies and gentlemen, bringing in people, identifying talents, making clubs money. That's what he's good at. And again, nothing is personal here, what we're going to be discussing about. We wish him all the best in his new role. Hell, he even follows me on Twitter, so he might be a secret sort of subscriber to the old channel, and if he is, thank you for watching the old content. But again, I want to go ahead and talk about this, right, because Nils Koppen was brought into this football club in January to be the director of recruitment, something again I think all Rangers fans would have been desperately happy with, finally having someone who's got a bit of a track record of identifying talent and knowing who should be signed and who shouldn't, after the absolute disaster in Michael Beale taking on that role during that dreaded summer, spending all the money the way he did, and the duds they brought into this club, right? So he's brought in for that role in January, and now while we sit in November, this man has not been promoted in terms of moving away from that role and getting another job, being promoted within. He is still our director of football, ladies and gentlemen, but now he's also been given the job and responsibility / role of being our technical director at the same time. I think my problem's starting to become a bit clearer. But before we get to the depths of why that's annoying and the layers that we need to go through every asset of this club, I'm just going to read out a little paragraph or two from the official Rangers quote regarding this one. Again, it will chuck up on the screen. You can pause the video, you can read the rest of it if you want. We're just going to read out a couple little things that I think very interesting that gives you the context of the story, and again we'll filter in to where we need to go for the rest of today's video. So starting off, if you will, Koppen, the club's current director of recruitment, will continue to oversee the club's transfer strategy, while also taking an overall responsibility for the club's academy, medical, football operations, performance and analysis department. By God, that's a lot for one man today. But remember, he's still got another job as well. I'll leave it for a minute. Manager Phil Clement and Women's Football Managing Director Donald Gillis will join Koppen in reporting to the new CEO upon their appointment. I bet both will work closely in tandem with Koppen on a daily basis. And again, I'm just going to end it there, because again, we're talking about cart before the horse style scenarios here. We've brought in someone who's going to work well and work closely with the CEO. Have we got one? No. But I know for a fact there is going to be people saying, yeah, what's the problem? We're like, what's wrong with Koppen? He seems like a good guy, he speaks good in interviews, he seems nice, he seems like he gets it. And I understand if people want to just say, yeah, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? It's been a negative season, a lot to complain about. Maybe Koppen will go there and do a great job. And for the last part there, I agree. I hope he does go ahead and do a great job, because that will make us all very happy being a Rangers fan. But for those that are just fine with this, that's completely fine. You want to go ahead and do that, I've got nothing to say, and I want to try and twist your arm that way. But for others who feel like me that they're sort of done just taking the crap and done burying their heads so far in the sand they can almost peek at Australia, that once again this football club is taking easier, cheaper route to fill roles within the club, and again, no disrespect, give an incredible position of responsibility within a club to someone who absolutely has no experience in that role, which is why we are in the mess we are in right now by doing the exact same thing previously. When are we going to learn? And again, I've got nothing against Koppen, the man. I think his interviews are great and everything like that as well. He comes across as great. I've actually met him once as well for one of the European away days. Seems like a great guy. But essentially what we have done here as a football club is hand the keys to a scout. You know, I mean, not only did we give him the opportunity to become the director of all recruitments or transfer strategies, whatever fancy little bells and whistles they want to fire at shoot there, he was pretty much a career scout all that time. We've gave him this big opportunity of being a director of recruitment, which again, he's not got a lot of experience on or any experience in his career. That was just in January. Then you're talking about 8-9 months later, you give him the big job again of being a technical director whilst the jury's still out on whether or not he's doing well in his previous role that he wasn't really experienced for in terms of the director of transfer strategies, recruitment, again, whatever you want to say. Has he really improved this club? Again, he's got a massive job on his hand. I feel sorry for the mess that he walked in trying to clean up the crap that Michael Beale done, but Michael Beale was in a similar boat to know what he's in, being asked to spin all these different plates. It's the exact same stuff. So again, we have given this man another bump up in that and more responsibility, with the jury's still out on replacing players and bringing in real talent. Is he unearthed a real gem? You think, there, yeah, I've never done that. Has he shown his calibre of being a director of recruitment yet that all of us say, yeah, he's really pushing this club forward, he's making this club a lot of money going forward? No, really, there's still been questionable signings and iffy frustrations about not moving on other players. So again, that's where he is. He's still in that iffy, no sold all the fans on what he's doing, and now we've bumped him up and given him this incredible responsibility. Not only the transfers, you then got him being in charge of the academy, the medical department, the analytical stuff, all the football operations. We've given him all of that to what again is essentially a scout who's had his entire experience being a scout, except for in 2016 where he was an academy director, but you know where? A 3rd division youth team in Belgian football. That's the experience he's got of being ahead of an academy of any kind. A youth team that plays pretty much at a public park. That's the experience it takes to get the big jobs at Rangers doing. You just sit back and think, what the hell are we doing? The one thing we all wanted to see when all these empty offices were coming into the building, the one thing the fans wanted to see was people with experience being put in the roles to tidy up and clean up the clear mess that's there. And there is a mess, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? We all love the club. We want to defend the club. It is what we eat, sleep and breathe, but it's a mess. We're losing millions and millions a year. People's leaving, coming in, people promoted within. There's guys doing jobs that aren't experienced enough or doing it at all very well. It's a mess both on and off the park. And again, for me, this is just another symptom of, oh, it's probably the cheapest fix, or oh, it's us cutting corners again, or it's us just trying to get someone to do 2 jobs. Well, it's been continually proven, especially over the last couple of years, asking these people to do that stretches them way too thin, and we've had 2 clear experiences of that. We've had obviously Michael Beale getting on 2 roles where he was obviously the manager and being in charge of all the transfers. Now people will argue he wasn't qualified for the first job, but he certainly wasn't qualified for the second job, and we've seen the failure and how much that mistake by the club, has set us back, allowing him to spend all that money and just have free reign. He wasn't experienced in it and he made mistakes. That's what happens when you've no got experience. So that failed and flopped. And then we asked John Bennett, who was the chairman of this football club, to almost absorb the CEO position and do the job of a chairman and a CEO, where again he's not got the experience in doing that or doing 2 jobs obviously of that magnitude at the exact same time. That never worked out either, and now we're sitting here filling in positions that'll work closely with the CEO without even having a CEO in the building. We're trying to build stuff, we're putting the cart before the horse stuff again. And I just didn't get it. How many months do we need to go without getting a CEO? Because you imagine now, say you're an experienced CEO and you've been at a big club or you've done this or this, you get a phone call for Rangers. Hi there, we'd like to come and be the CEO. Yeah. We've already hired people that's cut oranges. We'll put them in your position. So that's going to be your technical director. This guy puts out the cones nice. He's going to be your director of your academy, etc. You would sit and say, I'm don't want anywhere near that mess, because maybe, just maybe, a CEO of that magnitude that's had experience of running a club our size will have an eye on somebody, or maybe he's worked with the past and he'll know somebody that would actually be good in the role, that he trusts, that can put stuff in the right place. But he's not going to be given that opportunity now, because we're filling the roles that a CEO's got to work with without getting a CEO. I don't know if I'm repeating myself or making any sense here, but it just seems utterly daft. Again, nothing's personal to the laddie, and I'm not just moaning for the sake of moaning. I'm just seeing a very similar pattern of mistakes, and I sit back and look and say, by God, everything we talked about when we spoke last month, 6-7 weeks ago, about all the empty offices, what we needed for this club, we needed experience, we didn't want to see promotions within, or two guys be handing the opportunity, everything we said we didn't actually want, we're now getting again. So for me, I can't in good conscience pretend I never said all that 6 weeks ago and be like, yay, I'm buzzing, a scout is now in charge of so much at this club. Like, what are we doing? And once again, I sit here with just nothing but hope that we've at least got somebody in mind for a CEO, and he's had an impact on this decision as well. That's all I can hope, that maybe we're speaking to somebody, maybe we're waiting for a buyout in January, maybe we're working on it, maybe the guy's got a contractor on it, maybe there's something that we don't know, and I'll hold my hands up and say maybe that is the actual case. But I just hope we've actually done the right thing here and spoke to somebody at least and had his say on this, to be given such an important role in a football club that's going to work so closely with a CEO. Surely the CEO's had some type of impact, didn't it? You know what I mean? That would just make absolute sense in a way, especially with the perfect opportunity we've been given despite the chaos. Because again, what we've been handed with everybody leaving the Bisgroves and everything like the Zebs and everything like that leaving this club is a chance to just wipe the slate clean, put in experience, and again pillars to build the foundations back up to actually get this club running the way it actually should. But again, now we're chipping away at that, we're trying to skip by that, and again I'm just sitting here with nothing but hope that someone, at least a CEO, has been spoken to make this actual decision. We're just waiting to actually call them. But again, without a single sniff of a rumour or a rumbling or someone's heard this, there's none of that. We just seem to be kicking the can down and no one to fill that position at CEO. So I guess we can keep making the cheap decisions of just putting people here, there and everywhere, because I can imagine any CEO worth his salt would have something to say about bumping someone up who's just came to the club in January, who's got questionable qualifications for that role and as well has not been doing exactly fantastically well in his role, to then be bumped up again to be given all this responsibility. Imagine he'd be like, what we actually doing here? So maybe that's why we're doing this offer, so whenever we hire a CEO, that's who you've got, that's what we can afford, and that is what we're doing. It's a bit of a mess right now, ladies and gentlemen, and again, for me as a Rangers fan, it's very disheartening, this news. Again, nothing against the lad, wish him absolute all the best, hopefully he does absolutely kill it. But again, all I'm going by is the evidence that we've seen in the pattern of this continued failure, giving people two completely different jobs, stretching them all thin all over the place, because it does save a wee bit of money and it is the easier option to get done. And then that guy starts to flounder, then he'll go ahead and make mistakes, then he'll lose his job, or then he'll leave because again he's just tired of doing two jobs, and then somebody else has to come in. It's air and air again, cleaning mess, cleaning mess. Koppen came in cleaning the two-role job that Michael Beale was doing. Now that laddie's now doing two jobs. Who's going to come in next year or the year after that to tidy up this other mistake? That's seemingly where we are, because we're still trying to fix the mistake at chairman and CEO right now, as well as both of them are wide open. And aye, sorry, that's where my annoyance comes. Maybe this is completely off the boil again. I've not seen much of the reaction, what people are saying. Maybe our people are really happy, because again, he seems like a great guy, but by God, this isn't what I was wanting to see. What are we doing as a football club? We're just making the same mistakes. Is anybody paying attention? Does anybody actually care? It's absolutely bizarre to me, but that's going to be the main story. Koppen's been given the technical director's job along with the director of recruitment. What's your thoughts and opinions on us doing the 2-for-1 special, if you will, once again? Let me know down there in the old comment section below. And the second little story, the second little topic is one I wasn't really going to speak about, but obviously we spoke about the first topics about Phil Clement being linked with the Belgium job, and it's all the other place, and the media has installed him as apparently the favourite for it. And I know people are saying it'll never happen, happened because obviously Clement said just 5-6 weeks ago, even Real Madrid or anything like couldn't pose him, or was it Barca? It was some big team anyway. He said like, you know what I mean, one of these big famous names you hear, even they couldn't prize him away for Rangers. And all I would say about that is, remember what Gerrard said, and like 5 days later he was gone. But again, do I expect Phil Clement to leave? No, ladies and gentlemen. But would it be an actual good job for him? I actually think it would, you know what I mean? I think the way he works, being able to work with that, no need to work in transfers or anything like this, he gets to pick his own pool of players for the national side. I think it would make sense. It would get him away for the absolute mess, because despite all my frustrations about Clement and his tempo and his lack of style and his personnel decisions, especially with individuals, I do feel like he has been handed a really, really hard deck. So if he does take it, I wouldn't blame him at all. Like, even now, watching Koppen getting it, do you imagine a manager saying, alright, okay, I've been given a Belgian job, which was one of my dream jobs, yeah, I might be off skate. So I certainly wouldn't blame him, and it wouldn't hurt me the way that Gerrard did when he went ahead and left. But do I think Clement's gone? I've seen your tweets, your comments asking me, do you think there's anything in this? I don't think he'll go. But if he did, would I blame him? Nah, ladies and gentlemen. But that's it for this week's Rangers Roundup. It's almost time to get back to the old football in action, so I thought I'd draw a line underneath the international break by speaking a bit more off the field stuff and finding out where you sit with all this. Have I been absolute talking nonsense here? Does this make any sense? You can let me know down there in the old comments section below. Let me know what your thoughts are on topic number 1 and topic number 2. And my question of the episode is, where is our CEO? We need one badly, especially when we're hiring people that's supposed to be working. Well, there's not even one in the building yet, so how can we be building that connection? It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen, but I have voiced my opinion. Please voice yours down in the comment section below, and if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. That's the way it goes right here. It's an open and honest conversation. But until next time, which will probably be a preview video for the game coming this weekend, I've been Siege992. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye-bye.